So today is Monday, December 16th. I'm looking hella crazy. I definitely can't wait to get a cut, but I'm just sitting here and I've been reflecting on my life throughout the day, and I like to take a lot of time throughout the course of the day to be able to reflect on myself, to be able to replay scenarios in my head, to be able to talk through life situations and be able just to learn about what I've experienced, where I'm at, and just how I'm feeling, being able to process my emotions and truly spending time with myself. And that's been the beauty of living alone. And, I just got off a call with a manager and it was for a role, and I just felt, even before, I had spoke to him, I was just like, man, I know this is just not something I'm going to feel intrigued by and something I'm going to feel excited for. And he'd even prefaced that in our first call last week. He said, man, DeMarcus, I know that there can be friction, especially whenever you have been in a role and having to take a step back. So definitely, let me know if this is something that you're not feeling. And I said, hey, man, I definitely want to preface this to you real quick. Thank you for your time. And I just want to be real, after thinking about it over the weekend. Anyways, the point that I'm getting to this is for myself, but when I was just thinking about it and reflecting earlier, I had to take a step back and just look at my life and where I'm at. So I've been laid off for a year now. It's been a year now after a few days ago, and it's been a tough situation. It's been a few different things that I've done on the side, but it hasn't been anything significant that's been able to bring me a lot of money, to be able to feel truly comfortable. And I'm definitely blessed for my family support. Whenever I'm a person that says that I'm truly blessed, it's a pet peeve of mine when I have to watch how I word this, but sometimes it can come off, the way some people will say that is if they're trying to transition to another conversation, or if they're trying to stop a conversation by just saying that without wanting to express their emotions. And I'm someone where it's hey, I can be blessed, but I have ways in which I feel about something, or I have emotions that come along with the scenario in my life. It doesn't have to be to where, just because you're truly blessed that you can't look at something else as a negative or something else that's not going well. So for me, it's I want to say I'm truly blessed for the support that I have from my family, which is amazing. Without them, I wouldn't be in the position that I'm in. I wouldn't still be in a place like New York. And I have to also attest it to who I am as an individual, because when it came to, as far as, then also I had a lot of money saved. So over time, just being able to continue to build on certain things, even when it may not be a lot, you're still being able to create those habits that can inherently make you a stronger person. So what I'm saying by that is, when it came to investments, stocks and 401ks and stuff like that, I had a ton of money saved up to where, that was able to help me out in addition to my family support. So the beauty of that is I also have, stock investments that are still going up, but, because of my family support, but, also too, with their position and them sacrificing for me, them helping me is also them sacrificing as well. So I'm a person that truly appreciates that, and I never take that for granted. And it's hard for me even doing that, because for most of my life, I've never wanted to ask for anything. So when it comes to asking someone for help, I've had to force myself to do it in these moments, because you have to learn how to ask for help. And when I say force, just in general, it's hard for me to ask certain people for things because of the way in which people show up. But one thing that I know guys have been telling me is that, DeMarcus, there's nothing wrong with asking for help. Make sure you're asking the right people and the ones that are willing to help. Because I've noticed for myself that I'm someone that has went out of my way for a lot of people. I've done stuff for a lot of people. I've been hurt because of the things that I've done and felt that I haven't gotten in return. But in addition, a good amount of that hurt came from my own doing. And I could have removed a lot of that hurt, because I could have removed or stopped a lot of that hurt if I would have learned the first times, whenever people would just show me different things about their personalities. I didn't have to go out of my way a lot of times and give people the type of energy that I did, but that's just because of my heart. So when it comes to taking accountability as an individual, you can't always just blame it on other people. You have to be able to look to yourself and say, hey, even though you feel that you may not be the bad guy or woman in this situation, that's okay. But at the same time, are you giving to the bad energy? So if you're someone that's always willing to give to people no matter what, and they continue to treat you like however they want to, you're going to be in the fault because you're the one allowing them to do that. There's nothing in this life, and God's not even telling you just to keep giving to people and just keep letting them smack you in the face. No, you got to be able to know when to reserve your energy, because then you're not going to be able to respect yourself or give that energy to people that truly matter. And so for me, a big part is me just leaning on those that care about DeMarcus, because I realize, especially at 28 years old now, there's a lot of people that do, and there's so many ways in which the people that are really prevalent in my life, in which they show love and support to me, that means more than ever, because for the longest I didn't feel that I really had that. I feel like people would be able to show love, but I didn't really understand or see from people that the love in which they were presenting me could be on similar levels that I show it on. And that's just because of my own blockers and because of me holding things to such a high level for people that at times I kind of indirectly made everyone have to show love at this level that I was showing it on. In reality, that didn't do anything but hurt me. So when I was able to see that, hey, there are a couple of people that can show love in the same way up here, but then even these 4, 5, or 6 that may be a little bit under, their love is going to equal to that or even more than than this level or whatever that I'm at. So that makes sense to me. But more importantly, when I reflect on my life, like I said, not having a job and stuff in the past year, it's honestly done way more good than bad. Really, it's funny because the only bad in the situation is just not having something where you can be able to get money to do the things you want to do or buy the things that you want to buy. That's the only fault in the situation. For me, when it comes to the person that I'm molding into and the person that I wanted to work on getting to at a younger age, I promise on everything that I love, I'm getting closer and closer to that person. And the journey in which I'm being able to establish along this way has been incredibly beautiful, because who DeMarcus once was and the things that he thought in his head about who he could be, the thought processes of the things that he enjoyed and the way he wanted to shift his life, I promise I feel like I'm truly moving into that destiny and that greatness. And I have to continue telling myself that a lot of times it may not look like that in the moment. Things may suck in the moment, but when I look around at my life and the things that I have and the people that I have, this is just a stepping stone. And when I think about the conversations that I hear from people that are successful, or you hear these conversations about people that have been greats, a lot of people have went through some effed up situations, and ones where they had to take a step back or sacrifice. People that have been dead broke. They may have even started for something and became dead broke, but then they eventually got to the top. But situations like this make you who you are, because you have to dig deeper into the internal part of yourself. You have to be able to take a step back and say, you know what? This isn't about me, but it is about me, because I can't let how the world has influenced things that are going on in my life affect how I view myself. The world is going to be the way that you may get laid off from a job, the way in which people treat you, the way in which, something may happen because of the way people view you in society or whatever. But if you truly believe in your value and who you are as an individual, none of that stuff matters, because at the end of the day, that has nothing to do with who you are. You're continuing to build on yourself. You're continuing to be that person that takes accountability. You're continuing to be that person that truly values all the different lessons and accomplishments and all the different parts of your life, and that's helping you mold into the person you're supposed to be. All the flaws, I could talk about the keloids, all this type of stuff. At the end of the day, it's been a part of my journey. So when I see like a little bit of keloids here, a little bit exposed, it's like, that doesn't hurt me, because I remember when it was big on my, you know what I'm saying? Like, I remember when there were times where it was way worse, and when I was really at a point to where I was truly insecure, to where I didn't even feel that I had certain values of me. So being at the point that I'm at now, like, it can't affect me like it once did. Even like today, my face is a little bit puffy because the way I was sleeping, maybe what I ate, but at the end of the day, that I know that what I'm working towards, being in the gym and stuff like that, this is just a short, temporary type of thing. I feel and look better than I have in my previous points of my life. So ultimately what I'm getting to is that when I look at reflect on where DeMarcus is at and the mentality shift that I've been able to obtain in this past year, you know, removing certain things in my life, certain people and all that, I promise to God and everything that I love, I truly feel deep in my heart that it is helping me mold into one of the most dominant, beautiful, things ever that, for my life. And along the way, it's helped me to even learn that in the times when you don't really have money like that, that's when you realize the things that are blessings the most. And that's where you truly grasp about the realities of the world, and you feel the genuineness of the world, and you're able to see different aspects of the world. To be completely honest, if I had not experienced what I did, I would not have been able to experience probably New York on the level in which I have this past year. And this past year is probably my favorite year that I've been in the city, because I've had to go about things in a different way that's helped me to see more, meet different people, get out of comfort zones, be able to try things that I maybe wouldn't have tried before, and I don't have to rely on that next step to be able to get me there. If I want to get to a destination, I don't have the money to sit there and spend on the Uber, nor do people that even have a lot of money want to do that all the time. So you know what? I got to take the train. I got to learn the different routes. And then you realize when you're sitting on the train, you seeing people that you don't even know what their financial status is, but you're seeing people of all different walks of life. And when you have just being able to be around other humans and see the interactions, energies and stuff can shift. You know what I'm saying? You can just be in the presence of other people, seeing someone dancing or listening to music, seeing a smile on their face, and that can help you to feel enriched and want to be able to attack the world. You can be able to go on the train and then go across the bridge every day, and you just see the way in which the world looks, and just see just how the infrastructure of the world is, and that can help you to be able to feel destined for more things and just feel more powerful. And that's why for me as an individual, with what I go through, I like sharing things like this, because you realize that a lot of people are afraid to do that because they don't want to admit, or they don't want to look a certain way in front of other people. I don't care, because when you talk to the people that have felt that they've been successful, the people that have gotten to the points that they have in life, they would literally tell you, and a lot of people have stories, some of like way worse, like some of your favorite entertainers and all that, like scholars, they were in the pits. You're talking about these people may have not had any support. And so I'm a person where I enjoy sharing stuff like this, and it had this, especially when it comes to my skincare, speaking like this, daily thoughts, it has put me at a point in my 20s where I've had to hold myself accountable, and I've been super proud of the person that I am, because I can literally look in the mirror and tell people about ways in which I've had to hold myself accountable, and I've had to hold, I've had to, how can I say this? I've had to challenge myself in ways that I may haven't had to before, in ways in which I didn't even know that I could, because of me having to put certain pressures on myself. So even going through this period now of, like I said, still looking for work, but I'm able to still build my brands, like I'm getting to a mindset and mind state that's just different. And so I'm excited to continue to build my brands, continue to build the things that I feel are going to be great for me, and more importantly, to be able to continue to share messages and be able to speak to people in ways like this, because I know others need it. Like whenever I'm just talking about my daily thoughts and expressing how I feel about it, myself as an individual, being able to be vulnerable and put things out in the atmosphere that the average person wouldn't. At the end of the day, that's me. It's part of my life, part of my journey, because I know for a fact that when you just hold things in like that, and it ain't always got to be for public platforms, because at the end of the day, when you put it out in the public, you're really helping other people that you may not even have a direct relationship with. People in my life I do this with all the time. but I know that my words and messages can help other people because people reach out to me and tell me this. Like there's times even in the past where I didn't really have any money at all, and I'm like, just how I'm expressing myself and talking about embarrassing times or whatever, it helps people. And that's what I feel is a big purpose of mine because, again, we all have flaws, we all have things that we've done and everything. And I just was a person that had to, when I grew up, I had that perfect persona put on me so much, and I hated it because it caused me to feel conflicted in who I was as an individual. It caused me to feel as if I would do something, people are going to judge me on all the way. And DeMarcus thinks he's better than everybody. Even at times where people were over the course of my life, as far as growing up, when people would be like, "Oh yeah, DeMarcus, he thinks he's this and that," I'm like, that's totally the opposite of who I am. And I can't help that people want to put their perceptions on me when I don't feel like that. And so as I've gotten older, it's been important for me to tell my truth and for me to be able to show certain aspects of myself because I know that deep down, a lot of people that are going through their life situations wish that they had somebody like a DeMarcus to talk about his situations to help them to get through. I see it all the time. And so by me living my life and being real about what's going on, like, again, I don't owe anybody explanation. There's a lot of things in my life which I don't need to tell people about or whatever. That it's not the point. It's the point of being able to say I'm accountable for my life. Where I'm at is where I'm at. It's real. You know, if somebody's asking me about, like when I'm out talking to people, hey DeMarcus, like, you know, how's work been for you? Hey man, you know, I was a part of layoffs. Hey, how are you surviving? You know what? I'm doing different events in the city. You know, I'm making it through. I have support of my family, friends. You know, that's what it is. Like, there's no reason to be able to sugarcoat and try to make it seem like it's something that it's not because I don't have anybody to impress. Whenever I'm showing myself in New York City, having a ball, having a good time, like, I never make it seem like I got all this money that I'm spending on bottles and all that. I tell people I've been blessed to be able to meet a dope network of people from all different types of environments, even out of the main social club that I'm a part of. And people give me opportunities to be a part of things. I'm able to go to events where I don't have to pay for anything. I'm able to be in spaces where people want to show love and buy me drinks or whatever it is. That's because of the work that I've done. And so if you're somebody that's going through a tough time in your life, especially in your 20s, and you're trying to figure out where your life is, try to take a step back and look into the mirror first, because a lot of people don't want to take that accountability. It's always on everybody else. Hey, I'm not in this position. I'm not doing this and that. Even if you have to take a full step back and then you may have to do something that you don't want to, as far as being, you know, in an uncomfortable space, whatever that looks like, that is okay, because in reality, a lot of people don't want to do that A word. They don't want to take that accountability. And I had to truly realize for myself some years ago that, and my dad used to say this to me all the time. He said, DeMarcus, you got to realize that a lot of things that happen in your life and a lot of outcomes are because of you. At the end of the day, you're making these decisions. There are going to be times in life where life hits and certain situations are out of your control, but you're ultimately the reason for why things are happening. Yeah, layoff or whatever happens. That's part of life, right? And at the end of the day, it's on me to be able to push forward and to be able to see different ways in which I can be able to expand on who I am as an individual. Because at the end of the day, if I'm working for any company and my value is solely just based on that company, I don't have anything internally in which I feel in myself that is bigger than that, I'm only going to be focused on that aspect anyways. So I'm only going to be chasing somebody else's dreams anyways, instead of being able to look at that as leverage to be able to help me to get to where I want to get to. So in reality, no matter if it's a layoff or whatever, you can't be someone that's working at a company. You see people that have been in companies for 18 plus years, people in the tech spaces that or in roles for 3 to 4 years, they move to this next company and they're really just chasing the check, but they ain't chasing nothing for themselves. They're chasing the titles. But in reality, that's not doing anything for a lot of the people that feel, you know, that their life's not progressing because they don't take accountability. You got to be able to look at yourself in the mirror and say, hey, this is where I'm messing up. This is why I'm doing this. This is where I want to get to. These are some things in which I've been at fault. You've got to be able to look at all of that. And when you can actually do that and you start to take those steps, your life will change completely. And you'll also realize where you should put your time and where you shouldn't. Because at the end of the day, the reason why accountability is so important is because no matter how an outcome plays out, you are responsible for your own life. There's no, like, my dad always said this too, never let people take away from you what you already know, which can be tough because especially when you're in certain spaces, vulnerable spaces when you're younger, you're not understanding what that means because you're in so many environments to where people outside of maybe your parents can kind of control the outcomes, coaches, when it comes to how friends treat you or whatever. But it may be hard for you to grasp that because you don't really understand what that means because you haven't went through certain trials in life. But when you go through certain periods of life, you got to be able to realize that. And when I was playing basketball and so when I was younger, like I probably could have definitely, went on to play college or something like that. But, I chose not to take that route. But more importantly, when I was younger, there was a lot of times in which I would get so frustrated with the way a coach did this, the way a player did that. And in reality, I didn't have to be like that, but that's just part of life and how I grew up and life situations that I went through that made me angry and stuff all the time. But when you find value in yourself outside of one particular area, no one human being is destined for just one thing. And the reason why I say that is because if God has given you the grace to be able to live and continue to move forward in your life, there's not just one thing that you're destined to be on this planet for, and especially something that is human created. Entertainment, basketball, whatever it is, like those are things we've created as humans. So you're telling me that a God puts you on this planet just to be an athlete, just to be an entertainer, just to be someone that's just that just owns a business? No, there's purpose in what you're doing, and that's leading you to that overall purpose. So for me as an individual, that's why when it comes to having multifacets and being someone that has multiple things going on, or is always learning different skills and always trying to level up to figure out what I like, that's important to me because I learned that all these different pieces make up who I am and is molding me to understand more about my purpose, not just this one avenue. And because at any given day, any human can step in front of you and stop that. So how would God put somebody in a position to stop me from something that he has destined for me? No, that is just a part of, that's one of the paths in the maze that you're going through. And that might be closed off, but to get out of the maze, there's 3 or 4 different other paths. And that's still going to get you to the end goal. And in reality, if someone else may have stepped in the way from an opportunity that you may have, if you keep pushing forward and you know that you're destined for greatness, and you know that your value is way more meaningful, I guarantee that those other avenues will be even greater than that one that stopped you. Because why? If you're going through a maze and someone is standing in front of you, blocking you, they can't see what's behind you, and what's behind them is the path of you moving forward. So if somebody's standing in front of you and I'm moving forward, they can't see what's behind them, but God can see everything. So he's omnipresent. So if he can see everything from the top and they can't see that, how would they know what's just for me down that further path whenever they can't see what's behind them? That's how I look at life. And that's what at 28 years old has truly helped me to develop and be the person that I am. And I'm continuing to build, like I'm just getting started. And this may not, I don't know if this would, like even as I'm talking, I'm feeling it in my spirit and it means so much to me. And I'm hoping that somebody else can be able to watch this and feel the similar sentiments. Like this is stuff that we need to hear. These are the type of videos in which I like to create because it provides depth, right? Like people trust me, people enjoy hearing from me because of the way in which I've been able to move in this world and figure out things for myself. Growing up as an only child is probably a big testament to this, experiences that I've had, as I constantly say, getting left out of certain crowds and certain environments. It's okay because I know that for who DeMarcus is and his value, there's a bigger purpose in all this type of stuff. So there'll probably be a lot more frustrations. Even in my situation, it'll probably be, just annoying or whatever it is, but I know that no matter what's going on, I know that I have value, and who I am as an individual, it don't stop at no daggone tech company, it don't stop at no Kentucky, wherever I'm from. It don't stop there because I'm already seeing past it. I've already been able to show that I've been able to get past a lot of these things. So now, only person I'm competing with is myself. So as I continue to move forward and continue to take these next steps in my life, this is what my mind, how I move daily. This is how I continue to coach myself and find those ways of motivation. I don't need somebody to motivate me to get into the gym with me or whatever. I've got to find that internally. I don't need no accountability buddy, because at the end of the day, I got to be accountable for myself. If I have somebody else that can go along the journey with me, cool, that's all fine and dandy. But in reality, I've got to be the one that takes that start and is able to get the results that I want to get, because nobody else is going to be able to hold me accountable in the way that I can, because nobody else can see what I can see. I can go into the gym with somebody, we can both want to lose 50 pounds, but at the end of the day, the reason why I want to lose that 50 is totally different. And what I'm going through as I'm losing that weight is going to be way different, because we have two totally different life experiences. But at the end of the day, I've got to hold myself accountable personally for wanting to get up and have motivation outside of knowing that the other person is going to be there to support me. It all starts with you. And prayer is very, very important. It's one of the most best things you can do. Also, being able to lean on those around you and truly knowing what you're destined for, and knowing the value that you have, and constantly replaying that in your mind. Always tell yourself and always be real about where you're at, where you're going towards, and don't let other people try to shun you away from whatever. A lot of people are going to try to limit you because they got their own limitations, but I'm here to tell you, at 28 years old, I've been talking like this since my whole 20s, even when I was younger, and I'm at a point now to where I'm able to make more content on this. Where you are in your position, nobody's going to understand, nobody knows, but it's on you to be able to take that accountability and be real with yourself. Again, no matter what I'm going through, I've been in a great situation, being able to live on my own, being able to live in the biggest city in the world, one of the biggest cities in the world, and being able to just embrace myself and continue to build on who I am. That is just a testament of God continuing to work, because the people that are outside, a lot of times that are homeless, those are some of the most happiest people. Why? Because they know what their day-to-day is. They know they can just go and chill and do what they got to do. And some of them may even be more faith-driven than the people in the church. But you know what? They're happy because they don't have the responsibilities that everybody else has, or the pressures that everybody else puts on themselves, because they are just living in the moment. And so at the end of the day, if you're someone in your 20s, this is a long video, but I'm hoping that you will take the time to look at this, because I will look back and reflect on this and be proud of myself, because I know that I'm taking the strides that I need to. And I know that as DeMarcus continues to move forward and build on who he is and takes the strides to be able to get to that next level, I know it'll be all worth it, because it's already been shown that it has been worth it. And that is my words for today. So if you're in your 20s, continue to push through. If you're at any point in your life, like, remember your value, take accountability, be real and honest with yourself about where you're at, how you're feeling, ways in which, you've shown up in relationships, how people are treating you, how you felt. Do not put your feelings and emotions on hold. I don't care what nobody tells you. I don't care how people have tried to make you feel. You felt like that for a reason. And if you're somebody like me in the past that has given a lot to people, and you feel like you haven't given a lot, you haven't gotten a lot back, stop doing it. Stop doing it today. Appreciate people that appreciate you. Reserve your energy for certain things. Don't feel like you have to give your all to each and every person, because each and every person doesn't deserve that. And when you start taking a step back and people asking questions, oh, why are you acting like this or whatever, the people know. And if you've had those conversations and people don't understand what they've been doing, you're not a damn kid. You're not their parent. You've already told them. You've already had the conversations. You take a step back and you appreciate those people in your life that are willing to support and give you that appreciation back. So that's my word for today. That's my reflection on myself. I hope that can help somebody. And I truly hope that these words can provide value to anybody out there that may be feeling as if they are at a point in life that can be up and down, and you're just trying to figure out life. So, peace.